Hello, welcome back to Board Games with Niramas. I'm Joseph and I'm here today with Racco, of course, and we are excited to keep going on this top 100 games of all time list. And now we are getting into the 30 to 21. Lots of good games here. It's really hard to rank them. Some of them are... It's hard, it's really hard to rank them, but you have to do it somehow, right? So here we go. Number 30, and by the way, I should say, almost all of these games I made a video for, so I'll put some links up here, but you can also just find them on the channel if you want to check them out more. So, number 30 is Near and Far. Near and Far is a adventure game of sorts, but choose your own adventure, story snippets mixed in with a Euro mechanism of have your adventurers gather a party, recruiting new party members and gathering equipment so that you are ready to go out in the world and explore and find these quests, which then another player will read a little from a big booklet, will read a little story snippet for you, and you get to choose what you want, how you want to react and what you want to do. So much fun, and it's just beautiful. I love the production value of this one. The actual maps are like on a book that you're passing as you go to the next map. You just flip the sides. It's just so amazing. Just had an expansion as well called Amber Mines. I haven't tried that yet, but I'm going to, and it just looks like it's going to improve the game even more. So on number 30, it was 21 last year. Once again, it's basically the same because it got pushed down, but there's new games in here as well. So on this 10, between 30 and 21, there's one new game actually. Okay, anyhow, let's go to 29. Was 20 last year, but it got pushed down a little bit. It's called Nations. Nations is done by a Swedish designer, Rustan Håkansson. This game Nations is all about building your nation strong, and you do this in a sort of Euro-style mechanism where you have your board with workers, and the workers go onto different buildings to work and get you resources and so on. The game is quite rough to you though. There's you have to feed your people, and there's events happening that can really hurt you. So the game is kind of hard against you, but at the same time it's not a cooperative game. You're playing against each other. There's wars, but sort of the wars are, you're not attacking one player, you're sort of initiating a war, and everybody else has to have the same or more military strength as when you had when you initiated the war. So that's really interesting as well. There's basically a draft where there's tiles out there, buildings and so on that you want to grab, or cards actually. So you get these cards and you put them on your board to improve your buildings, to get more resources, to in the end hopefully get some points as well. But this is a really interesting game. Nations, my number 29. 28 was 15 last year. It dropped down because I haven't played it at all during this year, and there's a reason for that. This game is called Terra Mystica. It's one of my old favorites. So good game, such a good game. But there's of course another game, as you might know if you've been watching my channel, that has pushed this one down, and the reason why I haven't played it in a year. But I heard rumors about an expansion coming, so that looks interesting. Terra Mystica is just such a good game where you have this map area control style, and you're building buildings, you're upgrading the buildings, you're trying to build these cities together and get points and so on. There's all of this thinking ahead and planning ahead, which I just enjoy. So let's go to number 27. Was number 28 last time, so this is really staying at its place, and it's Clank. Clank is an easygoing deck building adventure where you go down into a dungeon. So you have a board where you go down into a little pawn to find treasure, and you're playing cards like to make a move or to get money to buy even better cards. So it's a deck builder where you build up your deck to get it better and better. There's also a stress element because there's a dragon in that dungeon, and the dragon might wake up and start hitting you, as you can imagine, and so you need to get out of there before you die as well. So there's a lot of tension in that, and I'm just having so much fun with Clank. I just play it with, you can play it with anyone basically. It's very easy. You can play it with children and so on, but it's still a really fun strategy deck building game. Okay, number 26 dropped down from 11, so this is a big drop, mostly because there's other good games out there, of course. I guess. But yeah, this is Caverna, the cave farmers, and it dropped down, but I mean, it's in 26. I mean, that's awesome. So Caverna is a great game where you have your little dwarf family, where you're trying to build up your mine and you're trying to farm outside the mine, and you're doing this worker placement style. It's Uwe Rosenberg, of course, and you're building like rooms, fittings in your cave to get points and also get different benefits that helps you out. You need to feed your dwarfs every year and so on. And I love this one. And there's an expansion coming here in just a few weeks on Essence Spiel. As I'm recording this, when you're watching this, it's like November or something. But so it might be that by the time you're watching this, this has climbed a lot for me because of that expansion. Because it looks really interesting. It's going to give you different powers depending on who you're playing. You're going to be playing different like races, like elves and dwarves and so on. So that looks amazing. But Caverna is my number 26. 25 has also dropped down from 13, so there's been a lot of movement on the list. But this one I love, I love it a lot. It's Hero Realms. It's a deck building adventure game where you're basically, in the base of the game, it's just two-player game, or mostly a two-player game, where you're fighting each other. You're playing cards against each other to fight, and then someone loses all their life and they die and the other player wins. But the expansion that came out last year at Essen was really impressed me. It's a cooperative solo game, and where you have a storybook and a really well made story. You really get into the theme of the story, and it's then you just play step by step through that story. I haven't finished it yet actually because there's so many games to play, so little time. But Hero Realms is awesome. It's my number 25. Number 24 is a new game on the list. This just came from basically nowhere, right in there on 24. And I guess you heard of it. It's called Pandemic Legacy Season 2. Now, Pandemic Legacy Season 1, I never got to play it because I didn't have a gaming group back then when it came out and so on. Not a steady gaming group. We just played occasionally. So I actually watched the Pandemic Legacy Season 1, the whole playthrough, all those hours when the Dice Tower on YouTube, when they did the playthrough. And that I had so much fun watching that. That was like an experience in itself. So that's also later on, now that I got in better gaming groups, I didn't really want to play Season 1 because I already watched it. But then Season 2 came out last year and we played that, and that was just amazing. I had so much fun with that. We played it I think in like a month or something. Just crazy. We played it a bunch of days just in a row to just get it finished, basically, because we had so much fun with it. We were so excited about it. It's one of those games where after we played and at the evening I came home, we had this group on Messenger and we started talking about, maybe we should have done this instead. And people got so involved in the story of the Pandemic Legacy. So that is my number 24. 23 is a game that has gone up a lot. So it was 41 last year on my top 50. It's called Automania. And this has really risen up for me because I played it a few times during this year and I had so much fun with it. It's a game about making cars. And your sort of worker placement style, putting your workers out to construct cars and get new sort of part for it, like better wheels or better steering and so on. And then you sell the cars at every round, and you can sell them to Europe or to North America, and that gives you different points or money. And it's hard to explain, but this game is just so much fun. I'm having so much fun playing it for some reason. It's just so satisfying, I think, because it's not that the steps aren't that far away from each other. Like you don't do a little bit and then you do a little bit and then finally you get to where you want to be. Some games are like that, but in this one you sort of, boom, you're building a car and you're setting up your construction line so that car gets a certain amount of sort of stars, which makes it hot to sell and you will get a lot for it. So yeah, Automania is my number 23. My number 22 dropped down a little bit. It was 17 last year, but I love it. It's Legendary Encounters Aliens. And actually, I also like the Firefly and the Predator. There's 3 different games. But I put them all together in one, and it's Aliens that is my favorite. The artwork and the story and that. I love the Alien movies. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. That series, even the new ones. So yeah, that's just awesome, and I love how legendary encounters work as a deck building game, where you have your deck and you play the cards, but you can also assist each other, which makes the game really good for cooperative. And I play this solo as well. You can check that out. I have a whole series of this where I play this solo. I just had so much fun with it. And there's a new one coming, the X-Files, and I'm so excited for that because I loved the X-Files when I was a kid watching that on TV. So I'm excited to give back some nostalgia, memory lane with the X-Files. That's gonna be awesome. So yeah, Legendary Encounters is my number 22. And the last one for this segment, number 21, was 33 last year, but it's gone up because it's just so good, and I played it a few times and I had so much fun with it. It's called Marco Polo, or the Voyages of Marco Polo. And this is a game that it's dice placement, dice worker placement, and you're also going around with a little dude on the map trying to do the tricks that Marco Polo did and complete different objectives that you have, and you have all these contracts that you're trying to fulfill. And like I talked about earlier about Clans of Caledonia, this is pretty much the same thing, where you need to get a certain amount of resources to fulfill a contract to get more resources that lets you, and so on. And so much brain burning in this game. This is one of those games where I really get AP, like analysis paralysis, where I just sit there, look at the board, and I'm not sure what to do. But I'm having fun with that. My friends in the gaming group laugh at me because usually I'm pretty fast in games, but in this one I can be really slow. But I love how it's like Tetris pieces in my mind that's falling together, and suddenly, boom, I just see it. I can do this and then that and then that. I just love that stuff. And I mean, that's a lot of Euro games have that, of course. But so that's my number 21, Marco Polo, the Voyages Marco Polo. And yeah, next time we go from 20 to 11, which is going to be really good games, of course. So excited for that. And after that, we also will do the top 10, but we'll do that together with some friends as well. So yes, that was it. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like on the video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great evening or morning or whenever you're watching. Take care. Bye bye.
Be like Draco. Follow Board Games with Niramas on Facebook at BGW Niramas. Board Games with Niramas is sponsored by Alara Games in Sweden.